Code is back. After a few chapters of his disappearance due to his loss against Boruto, he has returned in this chapter, but unfortunately, this looks to be the end for him. And finally, Kawaki and Boruto team up against Shinju. Oh yeah, this is the second part of the Chapter 15 leak. I recommend you guys watch the first part before the second part. Just click part 2 at the top of this, and without further ado, let's get started. After Shinki had become a tree, now he had risen with a new form and a new name. Ryu, that was his name. And that name, Jura had given him. Jura needed Ryu as the most useful person to provide the information he knew. Even with the name given by Jura, Ryu felt that he was lucky enough to know him. But at the same time, Ryu, who was in the black cube, suddenly felt something. And strangely, only Ryu could feel that. He used his iron sand that looked like a tail to enter the black cube and pulled someone out from inside the black cube. And as it turned out, it was Code, the one who had broken down the Jubi and created them with his claw marks. But after several chapters of his disappearance, his presence this time was completely disrespected. With his neck hanging, he asked to be released. And as someone who was new Shinju, Ryu didn't know who Code was. He even called Code a bastard who dared to peek into their conversations. The most disrespectful of villains. Ah, I'm sympathetic to you, Code. Somehow your fate reminds me of a villain in the Naruto universe. He is Kabuto. But will the end for this Code be the same as Kabuto? Who knows? And after Jura told Ryu to release him, Jura asked about his purpose for being here. But because Code felt that he was the most powerful and also as their creation, Code asked about what they were doing and how about Otsutsuki? Have they devoured it yet? But because Jura felt that the current situation was different and there were still many things to prioritize, so Jura said that he was delaying to devour Otsutsuki. Jura, who had previously known that Code's target was Boruto because he also had a grudge against him, Jura stated that Boruto was their main target that had to be eliminated. Jura even told Code to kill him first. In addition, Jura also stated that as food, only Kawaki was enough. However, because they felt that Jura looked like a leader and sounded like only he deserved to make decisions, Code did not accept his words. Even to decide that, they can't just decide, because basically it was Code who wanted to organize and determine everything. Even Jura's decision on who should be killed, Code didn't want him to decide, because according to Code, as monsters all they had to do was eat Otsutsuki. And besides that, Code also reminded them that as the one who will eat the chakra fruit, only he can eat it. And also as the one who inherited Ishiki's determination and became the new Otsutsuki, Code did not want anyone else to eat the chakra fruit other than himself. And hearing about the chakra fruit, Jura, who had understood the chakra fruit in detail, asked Code what if he ate the chakra fruit. However, because he felt Jura's words sounded like a joke and seemed aggressive, Code asked what Jura meant by asking that. Code even threatened them to feel the pain he felt in his eyes. And at the same time, Code used his claw marks to attack Jura. But surprisingly, Code's hand that had come out of Jura's robe and was ready to attack him suddenly became severed before Code managed to touch it. Using his Rinnegan eyes, Jura severed Code's hand until he screamed in pain. Even after Jura severed his hand, he also thanked Code for giving them the freedom to think and decide what they wanted to do. And because of that, Jura felt that now he could enjoy a nice day. Code's position really looks like trash, and even worse, Jura gives Code one duty to find and kill Boruto along with the person he's with, and the person Jura was referring to was Kashin Koji. But from the task, Jura promised a chakra fruit in reward if he succeeded in the task. And at the same time, the wound from his severed hand was covered by claw marks to stop the bleeding. Even seeing Code's pathetic condition, Mamushi teased him and said that he was a miserable embarrassment. And then Code, who had planned it from the beginning, said that they didn't need to tell him about it. Because without being told or assigned, Code declared that he would kill Boruto and the others. And because Code had previously been promised the chakra fruit, he reminded Jura not to forget it. And before Code left that place, Jura said that he would help him and even waited to see where fate would take him. Code, who had entered the claw mark to leave the place immediately, he told them that in the end he would laugh to see them suffer. And after Code left, Ryu said that he was a disgusting jerk. And even when he saw his face again, Ryu wanted to kill him. But hearing his intention and desire to kill Code, Jura let him do it if it was his will. But before Ryu did that, Jura reminded him to think about his instincts. And after Jura confirmed Ryu's instincts and who he would devour, Ryu had Gaara as the person he would devour. Even as the one who can only open the seal where Gaara is trapped, Ryu will open it and devour him, and that's his choice. But before we actually see Ryu open the seal and devour Gaara, we see the part where Boruto is currently on top of the Hokage statue. And not long after that, Kawaki came to face Boruto. And before they chatted with each other about their purpose, Boruto asked and confirmed with Kawaki whether he had come here alone. And because Kawaki said that he had come alone, but surely Ida would still see him. But because he saw Kawaki coming so calmly, Boruto asked if Kawaki had any intention of attacking him. But Kawaki gave another response. He even seemed to look at Boruto kindly and asked why he didn't tell him what was going on at the time. But because he felt that it would be pointless if Kawaki knew that, plus he was still so weak, Boruto said that this would not lead him to anything good. And because of the fact that no matter what Boruto says, not everyone will believe it. And because of that too, of the split caused by Kawaki, Boruto doesn't want to make things more complicated and he'd rather avoid it. But certainly Boruto stated that Konoha would treat him the same as usual as a traitor. And even in such a position, Boruto admits that at this time he can be much calmer because he has the power that can make like this. And also Boruto stated that all this is thanks to Sasuke as his sensei. But of all these things, Kawaki still ensures to Boruto the problem that has been his priority since the beginning. With situations and conditions that are often injured or in a state of dying, Kawaki is so curious about what happened to Momoshiki. Because as we know, Boruto is very easily controlled by Momoshiki. Even the last time Momoshiki took over Boruto's consciousness when Kawaki injured his eye. But after several chapters in time skip, Momoshiki has not shown his form in Boruto's body at all. And because of that, Kawaki is sure what happened to him. But certainly, Kawaki still remembers if Boruto has not been able to control his karma. And this is where Boruto explains to Kawaki about the Momoshiki. 2 years ago, when he and Sasuke fought against Code, Boruto used his karma for the first time since he left the village. And when Boruto used that karma, he felt that the Momoshiki would take over his consciousness. But certainly since then, Boruto decided to stop being himself and also decided that he would never use his karma again. And because he felt that there was something odd, Kawaki entered why Boruto did and decided something like that. But certainly Boruto did not know why, if the past few years Momoshiki really became quiet, because basically Momoshiki will come out because of karma that is active as a trigger. But because of that, Kawaki thinks that Boruto's current state means that it is getting worse. But before Boruto explains again about karma and Momoshiki, Boruto diverts the conversation about Shinju, which has recently become a threat to Konoha. Because basically, to defeat them cannot be in the usual way. Especially Jura as their leader, Boruto admits that he cannot fight him alone. And therefore, Boruto needs Kawaki as the person who will help him defeat them. But because Kawaki felt that he still wanted to finish talking about Momoshiki, Boruto responded that the priority now was to defeat the Shinju. And even Boruto offered himself to be killed if at any time he suddenly went berserk, because his consciousness was taken over by Momoshiki. But certainly, Boruto wanted to eliminate the existence of Shinju in this world first. And in conclusion, Boruto wanted Kawaki to train and become stronger. Because as a son of his father, Boruto gave Kawaki the suggestion to release him from the seal and make his father train Kawaki directly. But if Kawaki did that, Boruto assumed that it would take a long time. And as a person who already knew many things and had accurate information, Kawaki had to ask Amado about his power limiter. Because according to Boruto, Amado is hiding his power limiter. And if Kawaki gets that, then he will get his power very quickly, without having to release Naruto's seal and ask him to train him. Because basically, with the current situation and conditions, Kawaki has to determine and decide quickly. Even besides knowing that Amado hides Kawaki's power, Boruto also knows that Amado limits his power threshold. And besides that, his defense and recovery abilities have been adjusted to exceed the limitation. And hearing that sentence, Kawaki was so shocked by what Boruto explained. He really looked so surprised by this fact. And besides, how could Boruto know everything? And even at the same time, Amado was also spying on them from the monitor screen. And in essence, Amado would be a big problem if Boruto died. Is Amado really the real villain, guys? It's crazy if it's a fact that Amado is the real villain. And even Amado is so surprised where he can know that, especially about the Toad Kashin Koji. He still doubts that whether he is still alive or not. Even if he is still alive, Amado is really so curious what Kashin Koji is doing and what his purpose is. This will be a big plot twist. After previously they worked together, now it seems that they will become opponents. Moreover, the death of Kashin Koji, Amado did not really know about it. And in conclusion, Amado has another reason about the karma possessed by Kawaki. Basically, Amado only uses Kawaki's karma and his ability to anticipate the threat of the code. And because of that, Amado will not let Kawaki die no matter what. But from all that, Boruto suggested to Kawaki to ask about it if he felt that what he said was a lie. Whether he wanted to believe it or not, Boruto said that he had to leave here immediately. And in the end, Kawaki states that he agrees with Boruto's plan, and that means he will become an alliance with Boruto. Because basically, Kawaki's goal from the beginning was to destroy Otsutsuki. Whether it's Shinju or Jubi, they are also part of Otsutsuki. And so he will destroy and exterminate them without a trace. And the first thing Kawaki and Boruto are doing now is to get rid of the Shinju. And that was Kawaki's statement to Boruto. Kawaki also told Boruto that he would do anything to achieve that goal, even if he had to work with Boruto. And hearing that, Boruto looked so relieved and reminded Kawaki not to be an obstacle. And even at the end of that sentence, Boruto called Kawaki a brother. Shit, this is so cool, bro. And finally, the Boruto manga chapter 15 leak has been completed. So what do you think? Will it end up the same as Naruto and Sasuke, who ended up finishing the brother fight? Masashi Kishimoto doesn't seem to be taking away the most important part of Naruto to be applied in Boruto's story. But I'm sure Masashi will make Boruto haters pay for all this with the story he made. Oh yeah. So, this is it for the Boruto manga chapter 15 leak. Don't forget the 20th to read the official version. I'm Nim. See you in the next chapter. Bye-bye. Databayo.